Alright, so I'm gonna cut a sign on the CNC, and I've got my sign made using the drawing toolbar that we talked about. I'm gonna switch over to the toolpath toolbar. Now it's over here on the right, nothing on the left. I'm gonna create my toolpaths. I've got those down here in the bottom right corner, and I want to preview those, so that's right here where it says preview toolpaths. I will preview and I will reset. I don't have anything checked down here, so I can preview whatever one I want by checking it, or I can check them all and say preview all. Alright, so that's what I'm going to get right there, the sign. I've got this pocket with the letters should stand up. We'll see how that works out. Down here at the toolpaths, I want you to notice that I have 3 toolpaths, but I chose a color to help clarify this. These two, the border and the text, use the same bit. So I'm going to do that as one toolpath. I'm going to check both, and that'll be the same. I'll save it as one file. Then I'll save the pocket as a separate file because that uses a different bit. I'm using a V bit for the border and text and a ball nose 1/4 inch for the pocket. Alright, so let's close this, and we need to come down to save toolpath. So when I save the toolpath, right here, see how it says CNC Shark arcs inch. There's also, look at all the options we have to choose from. We also have an arcs millimeter up there. Make sure you don't choose millimeter. All your sizes will be interpreted as millimeters instead of inches. So CNC Shark arcs inch tap file. Once you save this, the only thing that'll open it is the CNC. So I'm going to save my pocket, and it says that I'm using a ball nose at the top, so I'm going to save my toolpath. I have to come down here, make sure you're on E or the flash drive, and I'm going to save it as, there we go, I will save that as, I'll just use my initials, and then ball nose. That way I know exactly what bit I need. So now that I have that saved, I'm going to uncheck that because I don't want to accidentally cut it twice, and I'm going to check both of the other ones, the ones that I'm going to use the V-bit for. See up here it says V-bit border, V-bit text. It's the same bit here, and it doesn't matter what order I cut them in. If I want to switch the order, I could check text first and then border. If it mattered, I can switch the order, but it doesn't. And this box up here where it says output all to one file, so it's going to put both of these toolpaths in one file, and I'll save it. Again, I'm on the E drive, I'll use my initials, and then I'll say V-bit. You have to use something pretty short because the CNC screen won't read a lot. And I'll save that. Alright, I'm going to take my flash drive, and I'll see you back at the CNC. Alright, well, I'm back at the CNC here, and I brought my flash drive right there. I plugged it into the side of the LCD screen, the touch screen, and I made sure it's on, it's ready to go to work. If it doesn't turn on, you might have to make sure this stop is twisted. It turns. Okay, let that pop out. Okay, so we're over here at the touch screen, so we'll continue. Good morning, CNC. And yes, we know to be careful. Alright, I've got a piece of material clamped down here. I've got 3 clamps on it, clamping it to the machine bed right there. And the gantry is way over here. I've installed the ball nose bit right there. make sure you have the right router bit that you want to start with all installed. No point in even turning the machine on until you get that installed. Okay? And you change the router bit with standard wrenches for the appropriate router that you have. So come over here, and I need to bring my router bit. I'm going to start in the center. See, I've got a center mark right there. I'm going to start in the center and zero this. So let's watch it. I'll make sure it's up high enough. I don't want to run into the wood. Bring it down so that you can carefully see the center mark, and I can turn that by hand. If that helps me with this ball nose, I see it would help a little bit. You don't have to worry about the Z or the height. Just set the left and right, and I'll turn this and I'll look at it from the other direction. That looks like it's pretty close there. I'm doing a 14 by 18 sign, and one thing you'll notice is that my wood is not square on the ends. I have a 14-inch width, but I have more than an 18-inch length on my board here. In fact, I think this is like 20, and the other piece is probably 22. Then I did that. That gives me plenty of place to clamp it down, and I don't have to worry about my gantry or my router running into my clamps. Gives me a little extra working room. I'll trim it when I'm done. Okay? So I like where that router bit is. I'm going to come over here to my touch screen, and I'm going to zero the X, Y, and Z right there. I'm going to lift it up a little bit. I'm going to zero it. You'll see all those numbers on the top are going to change to 0. There it is. All right? So now I have a home base in the center of my material. Everything's changed to 0. So now I'm going to go to my USB file, and I chose, remember that was my initials, CG and ball nose. Whoop, that's not the one I want. Ah, there it is. See how you don't get a whole lot of the file. It starts to abbreviate it after a while, so you got to use something pretty short. Make sure you tap on the right one. I put ball nose in the title, but right here it says that it is going to reference off the center of my work, and if I go to the next page, then it would tell me what bit to use. Alright, I'm going to use virtual 0 because if there's any warp in my board, it'll take care of that. And the file specifies an inch less than my 14 by 18, so it's giving me 13 by 17. So yes, and I want to capture new points. Alright, so now I got to fetch the touch plate, and that's down here. I'll get my touch plate, and I'll slide that underneath. The magnet is just going to go to the side of the collet there. We'll make sure there's no dust on it. And this is going to do a 5-point capture of points. And it's going to start out here, or out here rather, because I'm not going all to the end. It's going to start out here first. So when I'm ready, I say OK. Now I've got to slide my touch plate underneath, and I've got to lift it up and make connection. So now I get the OK button here on the screen, and I've got to follow the touch plate with my hand. That looked good. So I'll come over here and I'll select OK. If it does it correctly and it seems that it made good contact, just select OK. That's 2 corners. We've got 3 more to go. It's going to finish in the middle. That looked just fine. I'll select OK. That looked just fine. I'll select OK. And now I'm going to select, I don't get OK, I get next. Alright, so now I have options to start or stop or pause or resume. I've got to make sure I take this touch plate off of here. Otherwise that router is going to start up with my touch plate magnet on, and then I'll need a new touch plate. We don't want that. Now's a really good time to make sure that the power is on here on your router. If you turn that switch off to change the bit, you got to make sure it's on. Alright, and I'm going to hit start, and I'm going to let it run its program. Okay? Good luck.
Wrap me in a bolt of lightning, send me on my way still smiling. Maybe that's the way I should go, straight into the mouth of the unknown. I left the spare key on the table, never really thought I'd be able to say I merely visit on the weekend. I lost my whole life in a different. I've said it so many times, I would change my ways, no, never mind. God knows I've tried. Call me a sinner, call me a saint. Tell me it's over, I'll still love you the same. Call me a favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over, I don't want you to hurt. It's all that I can say, so I'll be on my way.
Alright, we'll come back and check when it gets close. Oh, there we go, it's 100% done.
I finally put it all together, but nothing really lasts forever. I had to make a choice that was not mine. I had to say goodbye for the last time. I kept my whole life in a suitcase, never really stayed in one place. Maybe that's the way it should be. You know, I live my life like a gypsy. I've said it so many times, I would change my